Welcome to the program. It's Tuesday, November 19th, 2024, the newest edition of Litter Media Live. I'm Dan Ramey, back together with Mike Smith and Mr. Hand 2, Aaron Glandon, back in his normal post, which is
sharing on Facebook.
Sharing on Facebook, he says. What's he sharing, you think?
This show.
This show, let's hope that's what it is. You never know. It could be something about the Washington Commanders. Coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at what's making news for us today, look at sports, and this date in history. Did you like that little mix-up that I made yesterday when you sent out what the copy was for today for the script?
Oh, yeah. I don't know why it picks the order that they send in the attachments. It's not always the way I attached it. It's like it scrambles them for some reason. So.
Yeah. Little inside baseball, but we share some of the images that we're going to use on the show and sent these out yesterday. And maybe I can send this to Aaron and he can pop it up here so people can see what we're talking about in a bit.
By the way, you couldn't find Mr. Lincoln. He was the guy it was like this. He had his hand over his face like this. He was not wearing a hat.
Do you still have that image?
I can get it.
Yeah. It's not that important, but I heard you were scrambling to find Mr. Lincoln, but he's in that picture.
It turned into where's Waldo? We couldn't find him anywhere.
Yeah, and I'm assuming this is not too many people had cameras back in those days, so this had to be a professional photographer. You see the guy, the blurry image, the guy with the hat. Now put your finger on the screen here, and I can tell you. Okay, look up.
The guy with the hat.
Now turn right. Right there. You just missed him. To the left, right there. See that guy?
No.
That is Abraham Lincoln.
That's not him?
No, sir. That is not him. Because it said in the where I got this information, he has his face pointed down, and he had his hand up to his face.
I saw about 38 hats in that picture. So
that really is like, where's Waldo?
Yeah. But that was Abraham Lincoln.
I didn't get it.
But he was among a big crowd there, so. I wonder how many people showed up. Actually, today is the day that he makes the speech. He's on his way to Gettysburg yesterday when you did that. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that I have ever read where how many people showed up.
I'll look it up. But
the big hullabaloo in the press, I think it was the Baltimore Sun-Times or something like that, they went on and on and on about this orator that spoke for 2 hours.
2 hours?
2 hours.
People get mad at you when you're in church when you're speaking more than 18 minutes.
Lincoln speaks for just several minutes, and it's the most famous speech in American history.
There were about 15,000 people there.
Wow.
And Lincoln's speech was 275 words, which took about 3 minutes to deliver.
Yeah.
275. How about that?
Edward Everett gave a 2-hour oration on the Battle of Gettysburg before Lincoln spoke.
And if Aaron hadn't read his name, I would have never heard the guy. I just knew only of some windbag that went 2 hours. So we try not to do that here on this program, but just a little tidbit of information.
Mike would refer to me as the windbag. Speaking of wind, let's take a look at our forecast for today.
Yeah, that's going to be the norm here for the next 3 days. Rain today and tomorrow, breezy at times. From what I'm seeing, the rain will lift a little bit on Thursday, but it'll be even more blustery. And then the rain comes back on Friday, but much colder temperatures Thursday. We're talking about 64 today, 59 tomorrow, 38 for a high. Yes, sir, you heard me. 38 for a high on Thursday and windy. And you know what wind and cold temperatures do?
I believe Chip Arledge used to refer to that as the wimp factor.
The wimp factor, right. 32 is the low for Thursday. So bundle up.
The wimp chill factor. All right, coming up in a moment to look at what's making news for us. But first, we want to tell you about our friends at Haynes Total Healthcare Center. Chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs. They can handle all that. If you want to find out more about what they do, see their doctors, and learn more about their staff, you can find it all on their website, HaynesHealth.com. If you click on this ad, anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, it takes you right to their website.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
And when you go to our website, you can follow along with what we're going to be talking about today. And Aaron also happens to have the image that I sent to him that we were talking about earlier.
We'll do that. Pull it up right now, or after we talk about the.
We'll do it after everything is talked about, because otherwise we would ruin some of what we're about to present.
Right.
We don't want to do that. Top of the news for you this morning with the legend, Mike Smith.
Charlie Frazier, who was with the Chillicothe Christmas Tour of Churches, was our special edition guest on Litter Media Live earlier this morning. Charlie talked about the churches on the tour this December 7th from 5 to 8 p.m.
Problems with it, and we are thankful to God for that too.
Right. Now, while this is the fourth year, the list of churches that are participating each year aren't necessarily the same as they were the previous year.
That's right. This year, we're going to start at 5 p.m. at Quinn Chapel AME Church, and we'll split up into a couple groups. Half of us will go to the Episcopal Church, St. Paul's Episcopal Church. Half of us will go to the Walnut Street Methodist Church. Then they'll switch, and then everybody will end up at Calvary Lutheran Church. So it ought to be, if it starts at 5, we ought to be done by 7:15 or so.
Now, started to talk about tickets. Kingston National Bank, Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the Old Home Place out in Frankfort are among those places where you can get tickets. They only are allowing 150 people to do the tour, and that's because fire laws on the maximum number of people that can get, I think, in the smallest of the churches. So those are the places you can get your tickets. And all the proceeds, aside from the insurance for doing this, goes to Adina Health's children's, what do they call it, maternity wing, new babies and so forth. So, what babies need, blankets, diapers, things like that. So worthy cause benefiting each year from the tour of churches.
Now, the annual Holiday Pops Spectacular is about to take place. That's December 15th. At OUC, the Columbus Symphony Orchestra will be here. On a Little Media Live special edition yesterday, we found out that those tickets, the only ones available now, are the $20 general admission tickets. The proceeds from those tickets are going to the Adina Health Foundation. Adina's Robin Burno shared the purpose of the fundraising arm of Adina Health and its impact on the communities being served.
One of the programs, that we have is like our SAME program, which is our sexual assault program, or we call it our survivors program. And that's something that we are able to provide clothing and toys and other things for survivors of violence. More recently, and this is something that we've been doing since 2007, is our Coats for Kids. And before we got on air, I was telling Dan that after this year, we will have provided over 16,000 brand new coats to children in our community. Wow. This is a project that I have been working on for a really long time, and it kind of followed me to the foundation. That's how it ended up there. but it is something that really, truly, I tell everybody this, it's more than a coat. It is hope. It's hope for these kids that there is a person out there who cares about them. And what a great thing whenever we can provide warmth for a child in the winter.
And you'll find a link for the tickets to the Holiday Pop Spectacular with the interview on our Facebook pages and also on YouTube channel as well.
Southeastern High School's Performing Arts presents Hello, Dolly. It's coming up at 7 o'clock this Friday and Saturday and 3 p.m. on Sunday.
You got to do it like Louis Armstrong did it.
Well, or Carol Channing.
Hello, Dolly.
How about Carol Channing?
Well, you could do that too.
Something like that.
You know, I was in this in high school.
Is that right?
I was.
Did you do
Did you
the
get
Carol
to say
Channing?
hi to Dolly Parton? Dolly Parton.
Tickets on the show, $12 for adults.
That would be hello.
Yeah, hello, Dolly. $8 for students and senior citizens to purchase tickets in advance. Go to southeastern.booktix. That's TIX.com. Tickets will also be available at the door all 3 days of the show.
Suddenly I pictured the Warner Brothers from the cartoon where they would always go, hello, nurse.
Oh, yeah.
You remember the Warner Brother boys, don't you?
No,
Oh, come on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes,
He was,
you do. You're a Steven
They didn't
Spielberg
have
fan, right?
cartoons
Yeah.
anymore,
Yeah.
But
You don't know Wacko and Yakko?
No,
Really?
no, I don't.
This guy is so isolated in his life. I don't know what
Doesn't
his
know
parents were
classic
doing.
movies.
Yeah.
Y'all
Misses
don't
out
know
on some of these
classic movies either.
Please, your definition of classic. Let it live for 50 years and then tell me who remembers it. Yeah.
I was watching the documentary on Greta Garbo last night.
I saw some of that. Yeah. Fascinating.
I never realized how beautiful
Yeah,
a lady she was.
She really was. The funniest movie I ever saw her in was Ninotchka. If you've not seen it, watch it. It's really good.
The Area Agency on Aging, District Number 7, has announced winners of their 2024 Senior Citizens Art Exhibit. The top prize winners out of more than 24 categories include Best of Show for an Amateur, that's Jean Bray of Ross County. Best of Show for a Professional, that's Cindy Bassance.
I believe that's
is
right.
how you say it, of Brown County. And also the People's Choice Award to Christina Adams of Pike County. Congratulations. There's Christina right there.
If you go into that story, I mean, it's a long list of all the different categories and different winners. But remember, District 7 covers many, many counties. So lengthy and complete list on our website, story@littermedia.com. And that's your topics.
All right. Coming up, we'll look at sports. But first, let's tell you about...
You didn't even give me time to look at the
I'm
sheet
sorry.
to see what's next.
There we go. It's Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. You know, your trusted comfort advisor. Are you aware of that?
Somewhere before.
45 years of serving our communities now, and it keeps growing. They've got 8 offices now. They have a large territory here in Southern Ohio. If you want to find out more, just click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you to their site, which is accuratehvac.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652. Cider Valley Dumpsters. If you've got a project going on and need a dumpster for your business or your residence, 740-253-8389. Give them a call or click on this ad where you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you to their Facebook page to learn more about what they do. And we've learned he does know who the Animaniacs are.
He just needed to see a picture.
Just needed to see Yakko.
I don't think I've ever watched any of that, but I recognize
serious?
that. I was busy watching Bugs Bunny.
This is almost as good as Bugs Bunny.
I highly doubt
It was
that.
Bugs Bunny for the kids who are now, 40, I think.
What generation are you again? Are you a Z, Gen Z?
Yeah, I'm a Zoomer.
Gen Z?
Zoomer?
Yeah.
The Gordon Deal show, he was talking to some expert this morning, and she didn't have a lot of good to say about Gen Z. Yeah. So get it together, you people. Sports.
Well, we should probably note that Gen Z is getting us on the air right now.
Right.
So we'll leave that alone.
Sports. Oh, let's do it. The Eastern Eagles girls basketball season was supposed to open this Friday, but not so fast, my friend. As
they've got football going on.
Lee Corso would say. Because of the Eagles' regional football final against Danville at Logan High School, they've postponed that game with Green to February the 5th. So now the Lady Eagles' first basketball game of this season will be November 25th at Gallia Academy.
And if you've not seen it yet, take a look on our Facebook page. You'll see a picture of Coach Scott Tomlinson talking to the Eagles after their contest this past Friday, a win over Conotton Valley. We take you into that post-game chat with the kids. Also, of course, hearing from Coach Scott Tomlinson and more, all on our YouTube channel right now. So you'll be able to check that out. NHL action last night. The Columbus Blue Jackets, they got off that snide you were talking about in a big way. A win over Baston last night. 5-1 the final there. They will host Tampa Bay tomorrow night. And speaking of Baston, that's where the Cavaliers go tonight to take their 15-0 mark, trying to go 16-0. And Boston will try and stand in the way. They're 11-3, I think, on the season.
And the defending world champs.
Yes.
2 local sports notes that just came in to us. We don't have the graphics because it just came in a minute or two ago. Southeastern High School is looking for a new head volleyball coach. They just posted that. Chris Skaggs, the athletic director. Let's see. If you have interest, you need to send your resume to chris.skaggs@sepanthers.org. The deadline for application is January 1st. Also, the SVC boys basketball preview is this Friday, and that will be at Piketon. That starts at 5:30. For those of you who are already familiar, but if you're not, they're not games, they're exhibitions because they play only 2 quarters.
But they're very fun. It's an opportunity for these guys to get out there. And in recent years, they've had like this 3-point competition and all this kind of stuff, and they make it a fun night. So if you're chomping at the bit for some basketball, go check that out.
But the girls' regular season actually begins. You can start as early as this Friday. And, of course, we told you the story with Eastern Lady Eagles.
Absolutely. All right. Coming up, this date in history, this occurred during our lifetimes. Prior to Mr. Gen Z over here.
Right.
What
1985.
Year? Okay,
1985.
1985, when we return.
92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. We're talking about Litter Quality Propane.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance, on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our Kingston National Bank mobility app today.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down.
Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Tiffany's going to be with us tomorrow here on a special edition of Litter Media Live. In fact, tomorrow, you started off our Christmas theme with the Christmas church tours. Tomorrow, yet this afternoon, we will have the journey to the marketplace, or the marketplace, the journey to the King. Then tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we're going to visit with some ladies from Shine on Chillicothe to talk about the Octangy Park display. And in the afternoon, Tiffany will be in here along with a representative from the Chamber of Commerce to talk about Downtown Holiday Open House and the Rudolph Run, which is coming up as well. So this date in history, 1985.
Yes, sir. For the first time in 8 years on this date in 85, the leaders of the Soviet Union and the United States hold a summit conference. Meeting in Geneva, President Ronald Reagan and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev produced no earth-shattering agreements. However, the meeting boded well for the future as the two men engaged in long personal talks and seemed to develop a sincere and close relationship, which would eventually, in a new administration for the United States under George H.W. Bush, the tearing down of the Berlin Wall.
And now to the graphic that we were discussing earlier in the day. Here you see this date in history, but as it came to me, there is this date in history and Hello, Dolly. So the caption would be, after viewing the performance, the leader of the free world won over Mr. Gorbachev. It was curtains for the wall. Thanks to a special presentation of Hello, Dolly. Wasn't that worth waiting for?
Yes. Wrong one.
Wrong one. Mike knows all these by heart. What's the one that? Yeah, there we go.
Michael Frank always had that one pulled up back at the studio.
He also had The Price is Right. When you missed out on the price, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times. Anything to add?
That's all I got.
That's it?
I could have made a commentary about the Gorbachev. We need another summit because right now there's some things going on over there based on a decision that was made by the United States in the last 48 hours that could be scary stuff coming. So can we just all get along out there? What was his name? South Central L.A. that led to the riot. He was the one that said it. Rodney King, I think.
Rodney King.
Can't we just all get along? It was his famous line.
Well, what we need is Rocky Balboa to come and fix relations like he did in Rocky IV.
What was the Russian fighter?
Ivan Drago.
Drago, okay.
And then he gave a speech to all the Russian people saying,
I still can't
if I can change.
I still can't believe our pastor, John Welch, thinks that was the greatest Rocky movie of all time. That was the worst movie.
No, Rocky V is the worst one.
Oh, my gosh. Campy. When Rocky gets up in the ring and makes a speech about world peace, you know it's bad.
Rocky IV is so bad it's good. Rocky V is just bad.
Oh, golly. Wow. Get Greta Garbo back. Oh, golly.
I could see her maybe playing the part of Adrian. That'd be nice.
Well, of course, Ninotchka, if you've never seen it, that was made like in 1941, but it's funny movie.
Talk
with
about
Melvin Douglas, yeah.
There was a lot of campy movies back in the 30s.
Yeah, but this one was good. There was a lot of references to
This is a good campy.
This was the references to the Soviets' 5-year plan. They always refer to their 5-year plan that's now in its 20th year. It's still not working, yeah.
When I think of good campy, I start to think about shows like Caddyshack, and that sort of thing.
Or Batman 1966.
The Batman TV series. That was all camp, but it was funny. It was hilarious.
I don't recall the name of the movie, but Batman is on this ladder from a helicopter.
It's Batman the movie.
It was at the movie. And a shark jumps up and he's using shark repellent to spray.
Shark repellent bat spray.
I always thought it was funny, of course, that any time
and then came Jaws.
that he and Robin would be climbing up, rappelling up a building, there would always be a cameo of somebody famous that would stick their head out a window as they're climbing past their window. So,
and while they're climbing up this building, they're really on a flat surface, and they've got like this imaginary line holding their capes out, so it looks like they're actually scaling up a building.
Good stuff.
I miss those days. And then he would later become the mayor of Quahog.
The opening, have you seen La Dolce Vita? You talk about classic movies. You haven't seen La Dolce Vita?
No.
I think it's from the 50s or 60s. It's an Italian movie. But the opening of Batman 1966 is a direct pull from that movie.
Gotcha.
Kind of like an Airplane and the movie you were talking about the other day.
Yeah. I'd never seen that before. I thought the Airplane was just a straight out, but it was an almost word for word takeoff of this campy movie in the 50s that Sterling Hayden was one of the stars. So
don't call me Shirley.
Yeah. Dana Andrews and the whole bit. Yeah.
All right. We need to wrap up the program. So let's do so right now. And we'll be back with a special edition of Litter Media Live coming up at 1 o'clock this afternoon as we talk about the marketplace at Tabernacle Baptist Church. That's coming up the first weekend in December. Details then. Enjoy the rest of your day.